The Adamasingba Stadium, located around the Mokola area in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, was built in 1976. The official commissioning of the complex was done by the then Vice President, Augustus Akumu, on May 28, 1988. The sporting arena was later in 1998 renamed the Lekan Salami Stadium by the then Oyo State military governor, Colonel Ahmed Usman, in honor of the late Chief Lekan Salami, who was a football administrator and life veteran of Shooting Stars FC. The sports complex, which is the home ground of Shooting Stars Sports Club, 3SC of Ibadan, Karamon FC, and other local teams located in Ibadan, is sadly a shadow of its former self.
Since the inception of this stadium 40 years ago, little had been done in the upgrading of the facilities here from the past administrations. But thank God for our people's governor, His Excellency Engineer Seyi Makinde, for giving it fit to remodeling the entire sports complex here, Lekan Salami Adamasingba. It's going to be upgraded to the international standards, in which here and by night we can be playing night matches. International matches and national matches can be brought to Lekan Salami Adamasingba from the national or international matches.
Oyo State is a great state. You have a great team here, Shooting Stars. As a little boy, I was a fan of Shooting Stars. And you have a very vibrant governor who knows what time it is. He wants to bring the best of the best to Oyo State. So you guys must work with him. If one man does not make a state, I'm sure the governor will need everybody's support. But this is a great move from the governor. This is a public project. This is in the eyes of the public. This is going to promote tourism. This is going to promote education. This is going to promote eradicate insecurity in the state. This is going to bring serious commercial activity. Because whenever we finish our pitch, because the pitch is beautiful and it's next to national, when the players come to play, a lot of good commendations will go to the governor.
The changing room, swimming pool, indoor sports games, main bowl, and the seating arena are calling for a facelift. Matching his promise to promote sports and reclaim the lost glory of sporting activities in the state, Governor Makinde and his team are here with management of Lekan Salami Stadium and other sports lovers to inaugurate the remodeling of 44-year-old sports complex and raise the bar to international standards. The Commissioner for Youth and Sports, Seyi Makinde, had the floor. Fakorede said that remodeling is essential for the growth and survival of sports and the engagement of youth productively. To the Commissioner, giving a facelift to this edifice will attract international focus and change the economic fortune of the state through hosting of national and international sports tournaments.
The available sports infrastructures in the state are presently in a state of disrepair. All the facilities are old and in need of urgent renovation, completion, and remodeling. No new one has been constructed in the last 44 years of the state's existence. These are therefore explains why the level of sports performance in the state is dwindling and the state is losing its pace-setting status in sports performance. This is because quality and adequate sports facilities are critical to sports development. The current flag-off for the remodeling of the sports complex is to upgrade the Lekan Salami main bowl and other facilities therein to world standards, and also to bring as par other international sports facilities.
The contractor handling the project, Akinyele explained that the benefits which Lekan Salami Sports Complex will bring to the state will be unquantifiable through talent development and others, adding that the remodeling of the stadium will also boost the IGR of the state. He disclosed that the present capacity of the stadium, which was put at 8,000, would be increased by 25% to 10,000 capacity, adding that all existing facilities in the stadium would also be upgraded.
The capacity of the stadium as we have is 8,000. This is below the minimum recommendation for a FIFA qualifier. So we are going to increase the capacity by 25% to be a minimum of 10,000. We presently have non-tennis courts that we cannot use for any international game. The non-tennis courts are being reorientated, repositioned, and we are going to have also a center court where we can play the final. There is a multi-level hall where we are going to have combat sports, wrestling, kickboxing, judo, and a standard gym, which is simply supported at a span of 18 meters. That means on a stretch of 18 meters, what you call in local parlance 50 feet is going to be column free, or what you call pillar. We are going to construct a brand new swimming pool. We had here already a swimming pool. We have not had any competition on it. We had a scoreboard that has never worked. We had a floodlight that we have never put on. All that will be a thing of the past.
You have been following the
Governor Seyi Makinde in his address first traveled down memory lane on what necessitated the decision to upgrade the facility. He noted that the event was a step in the right direction, positioning the state to attract investments. He was also quick to reassure that his administration would double its efforts to put the infrastructure in place that would support the growth of IGR in the state, adding that it would create an avenue for everyone to feel the real dividends of democracy.
I came here once to watch a 3SC game, and at halftime I went to the changing room to talk to the players and also to encourage them. What I saw, I could not believe. Players were seated on the bare floor, and it was as if we were in a dungeon, like literally went into a rat hole. In Oyo State, we cannot attract investors without the right infrastructure. If you are telling people to leave wherever they are and come here, we should be able to give them what they are benefiting where they are, or even more. We want people to come in from the neighboring states to come and watch international standard matches here. We have to put the right infrastructure in place. And if we keep saying Oyo State is ready for business, but without the right infrastructure in place, they will only tell us that, they like our policies, but they want to see better facilities. So we'll continue to do everything in our power to ensure that whenever investors come calling, we are ready to receive them, and we're ready to make them safe. And that means matching our policies with action.
Governor Makinde explained that the total contract sum of the remodeling of the sports complex is 5,580,115,162, adding that the project will be funded via the alternate project funding approach, avert. He then promised that the project will be completed in 18 months.
The contractors, Messrs. Peculiar Ultimate Concerns Limited, have given us the assurance that the project will be completed
He said here in 12 months. I had within 18 months written. So, and I can see a lot of work already going on here. So by God's grace, in the next 12 months, if coronavirus is still with us, it will be on its way out. And we'll have the opportunity to sit here in this stadium, fully remodel and watch our team, the 3SC, beat opponents live.
The news of the remodeling of the stadium has brought tremendous joy to football fans in the country. They say it's a welcome development that is long overdue.
The condition of Lekan Salami is in deplorable condition earlier before. Now, but it's a very good thing and a welcome idea by the chief executive of the state to renovate the stadium. If you visit the stadium, the last time I visited the stadium, I shed tears. It was not. It is not what the military administrator did there before. In fact, there are some school pitches that are better than Adamasingba Stadium. The problem we have is that very many of our leaders, they don't know the importance of sport. Sport is a business on its own.
I was with yesterday, and I went to view at football station there. I went there, and people were saying, Governor of Oyo State, after remembering the stadium, Lekan Salami, he has made a flag up there. So people are praying for him, and it's a very good development at this hour.
If you look at the Lekan Salami Stadium Adamasingba, if you have been there before and see all the facilities that are there that have been rusted away for many years, and for Governor Seyi Makinde to now come that he wants to renovate the stadium, Lekan Salami Stadium, is a welcome development.
The contract for the remodeling of the sports complex was awarded to Messrs. Peculiar Ultimate Concerns Limited. When this remodeling is completed, it will obviously, in the words of the governor, attract the right investors into the state. The Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency and the Nigerian Meteorological Agency (NIMET) earlier this year pinpointed Oyo State among the states that are prone to some extent of flooding in the year 2020. Specifically, 11 local government areas were outlined. They include Onwara, Lagilu, Oyo East, Kajola, Egbeda, Ogbomoso South, Iseyin, Ibarapa North, Ibadan Southwest, Ibadan Northwest, and Ibadan Southeast. As a government known not to take issues relating to lives with levity, Oyo State government put up a stakeholders meeting comprising of representatives from the identified communities, the leadership of Ibadan Urban Flood Management Project, to deliberate on how to avert another crisis.
Nearly around 20 kilometers of rivers and streams will be channelized under the project. And this has been signed and awarded by this administration to contractors. A plan has been developed which we need to carefully follow. In the interim, substantial amounts have been obtained for the project to launch a critical phase, which has to do with the rivers that are identified. And work has already started.
The Commissioner for Environment and Natural Resources, Barrister Lateef Oyeleke, stressed the need for community-based intervention in averting the predicted flooding.
Clean environment is everybody's responsibility. It is the attitude of our people that resulted in most of these things we call flood. When you allow your drains to be blocked by refuse, then how will you not have flood? And if that happens, we blame everything on government. So it is part of what the stakeholders meeting here today to achieve is to let our people realize that as you lay your bed, so you lie on it. Let us ensure that we dispose our waste in a more responsible manner.
Afterwards, there was a meeting with the Secretary to the Oyo State Government, Mrs. Olubamiwo Adeosun. Mrs. Adeosun urged the people to take the flood advisories to heart and commit wholeheartedly to the messages of keeping a healthy environment, clearing the surrounding and street drain channels, avoid dumping of waste improperly, among others.
The state government has revved up the machinery of advancing the predicted flooding across the cities, towns, and villages of Oyo State. As we speak, a comprehensive radio and television campaign is running in some of our major channels in the state. The thrust of which message is to enjoin our people to clear neighborhood drains, avoid improper waste dumping, short building on waterways, move out of flood-prone areas, avoid wading into flooded spots, etc.
She said Oyo State Government has given full backing to the implementation of the Ibadan Urban Flood Management Project, IUFMP, the state-owned flood risk mitigation project with funding and technical assistance from the World Bank. She disclosed that ultra-modern hydraulic structures would be constructed in 17 locations, while channelization of major rivers and water channels under the scheme would be at an advanced stage, among other measures, noting that the rehabilitation of Allay Dam would contribute to mitigate flood risk in the state.
The rehabilitation of Allay Dam was essentially aimed at averting the failure of the dam, a development whose disastrous aftermaths are better imagined than experienced. The decrepit state of the dam contributed in no small way to the devastating flood on the 26th of August 2011, which ravaged most parts of Ibadan. On a larger scale, processing of the proposed channelization of major rivers and water channels in Ibadan under the IUFMP scheme is at an advanced stage, with some of the works already awarded to reputable contractors. This implies that major roads and major water sources in Ibadan, like Ona, Okere, Orogun, Kudesi, Agodi Channel, etc., will soon undergo major channelization, which, when completed, will boost the runoff drainage capacity of the city.
Stakeholders at the end of the meeting agreed to forge a common front to save the state from flooding by sensitizing members of their community. For residents of Akinyele local government area of Oyo State, the past few months has been filled with harrowing experiences. The fear that gripped the hearts of the residents was so thick it could literally be cut with a knife, as they could not sleep with their eyes closed. The community was being terrorized by ritual killers, and some were sent to their early graves. Fortunately, the police sprang into action, and some individuals suspected to be behind the killings were apprehended. Sadly, news filtered in through the media that a prime suspect, Sunday Shurikwe, had escaped. This prompted the Oyo State Government, security operators and community leaders in Akinyele local government area to seek for immediate and swift measures to rearrest the suspect. This is the whole essence of this security stakeholders meeting with the people of the local government area of the state. The meeting, which held on the premises of the local government at Moniya Ibadan, was to address security challenges in Akinyele and environs, as well as calm frayed nerves. It was a time for deep deliberation among all parties, and the need to find solution to the security challenge in the area took center stage.
The issue of this ritual killing that is occurring in Akinyele local government, we have already reached out to the traditional leaders, religious leaders, and all the stakeholders. We have agreed that all of us have already wake up to our responsibility.
Government is only to improve our security system especially to empower the community.
The way forward is that if they can be able to deploy some of the policemen in Akinyele local government, maybe our security will be more effective.
Yá máa fi ọkàn sí pé bóyá arákùnrin tó ń pè ní Sunday yìí kan ló ń ṣiṣẹ́, àwọn kan ló ṣàjẹ̀bí bàbá ìsàlẹ̀ fún un. Mo rò pé tí ọwọ́ bá tẹ Sunday gan, tí ọwọ́ bá ti ta àwọn tó jẹ́ bàbá ìsàlẹ̀, nǹkan yóò lè dáwọ́ dúró. Ṣùgbọ́n tí a bá ti wú di tí a ń tètè, mo rò pé ìgbàlí ni a tó lè lójútùú ìrara olóòpàá yóò bá wa jẹ́ kí a ti lè lo àwọn ìṣẹ́ tí ó kí.
Speaking on the development, Governor Seyi Makinde, who was represented by Special Advisor on Security, Kompol Fatai Woshini retired, said the rearrest of the alleged mastermind of at least 6 ritual killings in Ibadan must be made a top priority of security operatives. He reiterated that Governor Makinde's administration places premium on saving lives and properties in the state. He maintained that Governor Makinde shares the pains of the people of Akinyele over the incessant killings in the local government, but urged them to continue to cooperate with law enforcement agents to bring perpetrators of such dastardly acts to book.
Governor Seyi Makinde, àwọn náà ó fún àwọn lọ́wọ́, ó tẹ̀ sùn wọ́n, bó tẹ̀ ṣe sùn wọ́n yẹn, èmi lè sọ fún yín, bóyá ìtorí ìyẹn ló fi jẹ́ pé Ọlọ́run dá wa náà padà sílé, gbogbo àwọn táwa náà mọ̀ láwùjá láti orí ìpẹ̀sọ̀ general police, gbogbo wọn ni gómìnà náà ti jẹ́ wọn gbọ́ wípé inú àwọn òṣèlú ìfọ̀kànṣẹ́.
To the leaders in Akinyele local government area, the police must not spare errant officers found culpable in the escape of the suspect, Sunday Shodigwe.
Ọ̀sùn tó wájú pé ọlọ́pàá arábìnrin rẹ̀. Ìyẹn ló wá bí àwọn ọ̀dọ́ tó gbọ́ kejì gbé náà. Kí ló ń bẹ̀rẹ̀ pé ọlọ́pàá lọ́wọ́ rẹ̀ ní ìsìnkú yìí, èsì pé bóyá ọmọ ìta.
Addressing newsmen shortly after the meeting, the Special Advisor on Security Matters called for calm in Akinyele local government and expressed the government's dissatisfaction on the recent development on security issues in the area.
In as much as security challenges can affect economic development, so also barbaric actions taking laws into people's hands can also affect economic development. That yes, the people have the right, having suffered that pain, to come out in protest, but that when we do our protest, we should do it in a way that will not continue to destroy properties. The properties of the people that we are destroying can also be a member of our family. Everyone knows that what has happened is bad, but for every 12 disciples of Jesus Christ, you see Judas Iscariot.
With a charge to the public to work in partnership with other members of the community in the spirit of community policing, the meeting was brought to a close. But the government is reassuring these residents that the Oyo State government gave the security agencies the wherewithal to apprehend the suspect in the first case. So also, the governor will not fail to deploy whatever is necessary that will make them succeed in his rearrest.